Hello guys, welcome to our channel AskPrep. Today's series is for 11th class biology. We will be studying chapter 16 Digestion and Absorption in detail. We have also added important notes for your exam preparation. All the best for your exam. Starting with digestive system of the human body, the human digestive system consists of the alimentary canal and associated glands, which work together to break down food, absorb nutrients, and eliminate waste. See the image. So, let's understand in detail.
This video we are going to take an overview of the digestive system. We will take a look at what it does, how it works, and the different organs we need to know about. In order to function properly, humans have to eat lots of food which is mostly used for energy so that we can move about and keep our metabolism running. The three main groups of nutrients that we need are carbohydrates like starch and glucose, proteins and fats. Unfortunately though, these are locked up inside large molecules which themselves are inside big pieces of foods. The roles of digestion therefore is the breaker of this view down into tiny pieces so that we can absorb it into our body cells. This process relies on both physical breakdown and chemical breakdown by enzymes, as we will see. Let's start at the top. Once you place some food in your mouth, you break it down physically by chewing. You are also releasing saliva from your salivary glands, which helps make the mixture more liquid, and also contains salivary analysis, which is an enzyme that helps break down carbohydrates. Next, you swallow the food so that they can pass down your gullet, which is also known as your esophagus, and almost straight away it passes through your stomach. Now the stomach is basically a muscular sac and it has three important things that you need to know about. 1. A contact is muscular walls to push the food around and mix it. 2. It produces pepsin, which is a protease enzyme that breaks down proteins. And 3. It produces hydrochloric acid, which kills bacteria and also provides the right environment for the pepsin enzyme to work. After an narrow zone in the stomach, the food is squeezed out into the small intestine. The small intestine is where the digested food will be absorbed into the bloodstream, but it also the place where most of the digestion will take place and produce digestive enzyme serve to help digestion. That said, it's actually an organ called the pancreas that makes most of the digestive enzyme, and it pushes them into the small intestine in the form of pancreatic juices. Another organ that has increased things into the small intestine is the gallbladder, but this time it is realizing bile rather than digestive enzyme. This bile has two main roles. One is that it neutralizes the acid from the stomach, making the pH more ideal for the digestive enzyme to function, and it can do this because the bile itself is alkaline. The other role is emulsifying, what basically means that it helps break blobs of tiny droplets, and this helps because it gives the fat a much bigger surface area for the digestive enzyme to work on. Now one thing we need to point out is that the bile is not made in the gallbladder, it's actually made in the liver. It's just stored in the gallbladder until it's released into the small intestine. Getting back to your intestine, once the food has been digested in lots of the tiny pieces, it can be absorbed across the lining of the intestine straight into the bloodstream. And it's worth taking a closer look at how this works, because the lining of the intestine is an example of exchange surface, and you need to know to be able to describe how it's adapted to its function. If we take a closer look at the inside lining of the small intestine, we see that there are lots of these little finger-like projections which are called villi. These are massively increases of surface area of small intestine, which means that adjusted food can be absorbed into the bloodstream much more quickly. Two other adaptations to notice are that they rely on have a single layer of surface cell, which means that the nutrients only have to diffuse a very short distance, and that they have a very good blood supply which maintains the concentration gradient. Okay, so let's imagine that all of the useful nutrients have been absorbed into the bloodstream. At this point there is still a lot of material left in a small intestine, This is because lots of the food that we eat isn't actually digestible, and because of all the secretions, for example from the pancreas, stomach and gallbladder, the leftover material is going to be really watery. So next it passes into the large intestine, which absorbs all of this excess water, leaving behind feces that are stored in the rectum until they are removed. We have now covered every part of the process in detail, but before we finish, let's just quickly recap the order everything happened so that you can clearly see the whole process from start to finish. First, we take some food and put it in our mouth where we chew it, and the salivary glands add saliva, then goes down the gullet or esophagus and passes into our stomach. Once the stomach in this thing, it's pushed out into the small intestine where it mixes with pancreatic juices from the pancreas and also bile that was stored in the gallbladder, but remember, made in the liver. While the food is in the small intestine, it is continually broken down and digested, and once it's small enough, it will be absorbed from the small intestine into the bloodstream. Once everything that can be absorbed has been absorbed, the leftover material will move into the large intestine where all of the water is absorbed back into the body, leaving behind feces in the rectum.
Alimentary canal. The alimentary canal is a long, muscular, and coiled tube that extends from the mouth to the anus, measuring between 6 and 9 meters. It is lined with glandular epithelium and includes the following organs: mouth, oral cavity, buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, anus. Next is mouth and oral cavity. The oral cavity includes two jaws, upper maxilla and lower mandible, and is bounded by the cheeks on the sides. A small extension called the uvula is present at the roof's back. Inside the oral cavity are teeth, used for cutting, tearing, and grinding food. Human dentition is heterodont, different types of teeth, diffeodont, two sets of teeth, milk and permanent teeth, and thecodont, teeth are embedded in sockets. Types of teeth: incisors, sharp, chisel-like teeth used for cutting. Canines, dagger-shaped teeth used for tearing. Premolars and molars, strong teeth for crushing and grinding. Wisdom teeth, the last molars that erupt in late adolescence. Canines, they have a dagger-like form and are in charge of shredding food. The powerful teeth at the end of the jaws, called premolars and molars, are in charge of crushing and grinding food. The man's final 4 molars, 2 from his upper and lower jaws, respectively, won't erupt until he or she is 17 or 18 years old. The wisdom teeth are these 4 molar teeth. The milk teeth and permanent teeth are the 2 sets of teeth that a person will ever have. Diffeodont dentition is the term for this disorder. When children first erupt, milk teeth emerge. They are fragile and transient. Each jaw has 10 teeth, and they lack molars. There are 20 premolars in all. The dental formula describes how teeth are arranged in the jaws and how many there are. See the image. Pharynx. The pharynx is a funnel-shaped muscular channel that connects the oral cavity to the esophagus and serves both digestive and respiratory functions. It consists of glottis, the opening to the trachea, windpipe. Epiglottis, a flap-like structure that prevents food from entering the windpipe during swallowing. Next is stomach. It is the largest portion of the alimentary canal, located in the upper abdominal cavity beneath the diaphragm, and has a C-shaped structure. The 3 components of it are the fundus, cardiac, and pylorus. The cardiac zone, where the oesophagus opens, is close to the fundus region. When swallowing food, it facilitates the entry of air into the stomach. The middle area that aids in food storage is the heart. Small intestine. It is located in the abdomen area and is the longest segment of the alimentary canal. It is coiled, thin, and tubular. The small intestine measures between 7 and 9 meters in length and 2.4 centimeters in diameter. The duodenum, jejunum, and ileum are the three sections that make up the small intestine. The jejunum is located much later than the duodenum and is observed to be significantly longer. The small intestine's ileum is the last and longest section. Its diameter is roughly 2 to 3 centimeters, and its length is approximately 7 meters. This very coiled area opens into the large intestine's lower right abdominal cavity. The mesenteric portion of the small intestine is made up of the ileum and jejunum together. The majority of digestion and absorption occurs in the small intestine. Big gut, the large intestine, comes after the small intestine. With a length of 2 meters, it is wider but shorter than the small intestine. It is separated into the colon, rectum, and cecum areas. The cecum is a small pouch seen in humans, but it is a huge pouch found in horses and asses. The vermiform appendix, a finger-like structure discovered in the cecum, is determined to be non-functional and falls under the category of a vestigial organ. Serosa, the outermost layer of the alimentary canal, is composed of fibers. It is composed of some connective tissue and a thin layer of mesothelium. The layer located outside the submucosa is called the muscularies. It consists of 2 layers, an outside layer made up of longitudinal muscles and an interior layer made up of circular muscles. In certain places, an oblique muscle layer is also visible. Submucosa. This layer lies outside the mucosa and is composed of blood and lymph vessels, which contain nerves, as well as the loose connective tissue layer. The duodenal glands are located in the submucosal area. Mucosa. This layer, which is friction-resistant and provides moisture, lines the interior of the alimentary canal lumen. The secretae and absorptive cells make up the epithelium. The goblet, which serves as a lubricant and aids in mucus secretion to protect the epithelium from damage and digestion, is a component of the epithelium. When the stomach is empty, the mucosa and submucosa fold together to form the rugae, which are present in the stomach. When food enters the stomach, these folds will aid in its expansion and eventually disappear. The surface of the small intestine mucosa contains many projections that resemble fingers, known as villi. Digestive glands, the glands that are a part of the alimentary canal and aid in the digestion of dietary ingredients, are referred to as digestive glands. The pancreas, liver, and salivary glands are among these glands. Salivary glands. They are the digestive glands that result in the secretion of saliva and are found in the oral cavity. In humans, salivary glands are 3 in pairs. 1. Parotid glands. 2. Sublingual gland. 3. Submandibular or submaxillary glands. Disorders of the digestive system, constipation, indigestion, diarrhea, vomiting, and jaundice are among the prevalent digestive system illnesses. Jaundice, the yellowing of the skin, eyes, and mucous membranes, is caused by the buildup of bile pigments in the blood. Vomiting. This happens when the stomach's contents are forced out of the mouth due to a blockage in the digestive tract or reverse peristalsis. It is a reflex that is managed by the vomiting center located in the brain's medulla oblongata. As soon as nausea sets in, vomiting happens. Diarrhea. The symptoms of diarrhea, which are brought on by improper water absorption, are often watery stools. This lowers the amount of food absorbed and causes an irregular frequency of bowel movements as well as a watery fecal discharge. That's it from this chapter. We have gone through the video of human digestive system as well as with recaps. Thanks for watching the video. We will drop the notes in the description of this video. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. See you in the next video, and all the best for your exam.